A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
All about faith to this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Tando Pela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke kuphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Overthinking Football Show. What a hectic day we've had today. What a very hectic day. I am your host, Mokwena, and this show is a place where we can discuss things that are happening in football, things that are happening in our local football, and I can hear from you guys. It's a very interactive show, so I expect you to jump on, tell me what you think, tell me your opinions, and we can have a conversation about whatever it is the topic at hand is. So if you have not followed, please follow. The show is normally on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. But because of the Euros, we have a lot of watch-alongs in between for this period. And when the season comes back, we'll be watching the big three, Sundowns, Chiefs, and Pirates. And then we'll take it from there, right? Fridays is a members show. So on the members show is the guys who are in the WhatsApp group. If you want to be in the WhatsApp group, which has been buzzing all day today, you just have to go to my profile. So if you're on TikTok, there's a link in my profile. Click on it. There's a button for membership. Click on it to take you there. In the membership area, you'll be able to get the WhatsApp link. On YouTube, just click on join. And in the membership area, there's a WhatsApp group there. So, obviously, guys, the biggest story of today, by far, is not even close. Early in the morning, we woke up to find Super Cherno, Mazola Molefe, who had dropped a story saying that Mamelodi Sundowns was actually in talks with Coach Rulani for him to leave the club. As the day progressed, more rumors and stories came out to say that actually Mamelodi Sundowns and Rulani had parted ways, and Coach Rulani had parted ways, and that it was going to be official in the next couple of days. They're just tying up some things. He leaves with an analyst and also Coach Loftman, and it's been rocking this whole football world because this is what we've been discussing for the whole day. Now, I've always said that I sense there's a bit of tension there at Mamelodi Sundowns. I have always sensed that there's a clash between management and the coach, and where management wants to go and maybe where the coach wants to go. There's been a lot of things that Coach Rulani has said out in public that have given us the idea that maybe the grass isn't greener over there, and that there's maybe some issues that are happening that side. When he's spoken about the signings, when he's spoken about people he wanted to sign, but they said no, there's been recent people who've been moved out, Bozungu, and there's been some friction there. And also some of the things he's been saying that felt like he was asking for people to come onto his side, basically, right? And now we find out, according to the report, that he's had some friction with the sporting director, Fleming Berg, who's sporting or technical director over there at Mamelodi Sundowns, and that there was a bit of a clash there, and the club had to choose, and the club chose to go with management over Coach Rulani. So I want to open it up. If you want to hear my thoughts about it, I've got a video that I put up on my YouTube right now where I discuss the things from my end, but I want to hear from you guys. So in order to jump in, very interactive show, I want to hear from you. You have to be following me on TikTok, right? And join me live now while I'm on TikTok for those who are on YouTube. And there's a button that will appear now for those who are following me that says multi-guest, bottom of the screen. Click on the button, request, and let's have a conversation about this really big movement in South African football. Okay, let's see who is here. So guys, I'm going to ask everybody to try keep it to 2 minutes. I'm going to hold it to 2 minutes. You're going to have your say. I'll ask you a question or two afterwards, and let's just keep it moving to see how many people we can fit in, because I sense, Mankare, it might be a little bit of therapy at some point. Kuma, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm going on an emotional roller coaster. Finally, I can for once.
What's all Kumo? What's all? And tell me, where do you sit on this issue? Yeah, Coach Rulani, emotional roller coaster.
Can you please ask my name secretly to me because I have too much echo? I don't know what to do.
Okay, let's see. I think it might be that issue that we had, but it's fine. Carry on, push through.
Yeah, man. Today I've been going through the most working 7 steps of grief, denial, whatever. What is the agent? Total correct. I was in disbelief. Finally, accepted. And there's anger in between. Because criminality more than a morata. The Lani Kalagin support. And the Lani is the reason why I actually named agent, double agent, because he was talking bad about Rulani. So now, for this guy, man, I really respect the shame. Like, today it's all about speculation. We don't know if it's in or out. I agree the club hasn't put anything officially. But, like, how do you go on your Instagram during these speculations and rumors? You're going to post a video and triggerang, which I might add, because that's exactly how people left. Video over you love Villa, you love North African teams. Ever come get me, and you want to come our best coach. That's exactly how people left for Ahly. Now I'm tired for Sundowns to stop you staying for these fools. I'm sorry to say this. This guy I'm supporting, but I've made enemies in this group because of Rulani. And is this how he replaces us? Hatsamaya inkatamele for a corner of heart, especially when we feel a second chance. Like I look to spell local Sundowns, the go pirate the cheaper. When Kalwang, and born, he knows as bright and young as he is. He's still a black man from Africa. Go Saudi clubs. If apparently that's where he's going, we're gonna chew him and come back. Right now, I don't see any victory team in Iran because
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you joining? I can eat talk a quid. On also not power for you.
Kubo. But okay, but Kubo, can I ask you then, just for time? I'm gonna come back. Can I ask you then?
Yeah.
Do you think that Coach Rulani had it coming? Do you think that it was something that was eventually going to happen? Or do you think that maybe there was an issue, as I'd say, maybe last week or 2 weeks before that is making this problem right now or giving us the situation?
My bro, I wonder when you talk about such things, I'm the last person you should ask because while during now, I'm very motivated and I do not think about my things after. So, Mara, from what I can tell, this has been going on and on until Rulani is arrogant, which can be a very good attribute to have as a coach, especially in football, but it can also be your downfall. There's been some decisions because I gotta be wearing those rose-colored glasses. He's been making mistakes lately, which has cost us big games. And that can also be attributed towards his because of his arrogance. So I don't believe these people fought last week and today and like, you know what, it's fine, out of vying. It has been brewing. I think he's been complaining and been hitting, like as you alluded earlier, about his lack of powers. Now when you come across such statements today, when you think about what he said in the past, so I'm going to keep it brief, he said that he's probably the least important person go. Meaning like he tells them what he wants and they give him 4 options and that is where he designs. If you look at it from that angle, we can tell man, this guy is not really in control and he wants to be in control. Unfortunately, look at Sundowns, you can't be fully in control like Pitso had in the past.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. Let me bring in Agent. Agent, my brother, welcome to the show. How are you? Hey man, Agent, are you with me?
I'm a bit behind because of the echo.
Agent, welcome. Tell me, what do you think about this here situation that we sit with?
a very sad situation. Very unexpected. And as a club, we thrive on stability. I feel like if Coach Rulani was to be let go, it had to be done early. If you wanted to leave, he had to do it early so that he can have a bit of stability. But on my part, and I've said this over and over again, that I would have Rulani for one more season, because and see what we have, so that there's that bit of continuity. But on the news, I think there's three aspects of this conversation. That firstly, we need to understand what is the role of the TD, and what is the role of a coach. I feel like that's where there's a clashing of ideas, because for me, from my understanding, the TD is the boss of the footballing aspect of a club. He determines the vision, the mission, and where the club is supposed to go. And we've seen how dangerous it is to have a coach/TD. Mosimane, yes, it was successful, but it wasn't successful in the long run. Mosimane fell in the category of say Alex, and Wenger. So it was something which was not sustainable, because once he left us, we have players who are so-called Pitso players, and it's difficult to get rid of them, and new coaches coming in. Just this season, I think Coach Rulani signed 9 players, if not 7, So that's a whole overhaul, so you can't be having a situation where the coach comes in, signs 10 players,
Yeah.
So there's a reason why a team has to sign team players instead of coach players, A coach just needs to tell you, guys, I need a striker who is like this, like this, like that, like that, like that, and the TD is like, okay, we have scouted, these are the players I feel like can fit our system and are the requirements of what you want, So we've seen that clash where Coach Fleming is trying to get us off injury prone players like Kotsie and other Zungus and others, And Coach Rulani wants to bring in Elas, that tall guy, with a difficult name. Now that guy has been injured for the last 8-9 months, but Rulani came in and he was moaning about it in the press that he didn't get the guy that he wanted. Coach Fleming is trying to reduce the age factor in our team, hence he had to even reduce it in the DDC, that guys, once you're 19, if you haven't broken up with the team, you have to go somewhere, So now you're bringing in a Lodge who is old and you can only get 2 seasons out of him. So it was building up to this point where at some point the chairman had to choose. Do you choose your TD or your coach? Because there was that misalignment of vision and mission and what the club really needs to go, So I think it was a long time coming.
So then,
with regards to this conversation.
So
lastly, that's my last point.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, go on.
I think Rulani has been a polarizing figure. In terms, Coach Pinto was polarizing, but he was dividing us and other teams. But I think Rulani has mastered what you call divide and rule. The fan base is divided. I assume the management is also divided because of his management style, if I can say it, or the way he speaks, And for some of us, it has not been about his abilities. It has always been about making the same mistakes over and over again. That's always the main thing. But most importantly, the way he polarizes the fans. He calls some of us Betway fans. After we were rained on by rain and Loftus and stuff. He has a lot of things. Which divided the fans, and there's a lot of things which divided the management in terms of saying what is it called? A player X so is being released, but it's like no, I don't want that player to be released. For me, I believe as a coach, you are the representative of a club. If a club makes a decision, there's what you call collective responsibility. Once a decision is made, you stick to that decision. Whether you like it or not, you stick to it and you stand up to it. Years after you've left the club, you can write it in your memo or whatever, or storytelling, whatever. But once a club has made a decision, you do exactly that, So yeah.
Okay. Could you could you make an argument that Rulani deserved more control? I mean, he's a coach that has been at Mamelodi Sundowns for, I'd say, 10 plus years. He was part of the growth and the success that we're seeing up to this point. Surely you could make an argument that Rulani should have more of a bigger say and maybe should have, not maybe equal as the TD, but should have a big enough say to be able to say no to some of the things that the TD wants, as someone who is part of the quote-unquote reason that the success is here. It's not a normal coach TD situation here.
I think firstly, let's correct that a bit. I
Okay.
think he himself said Sundowns uses a three-pot system where it is the TD, is the technical team, and it's him, right? Where all these guys have veto powers. So if he doesn't want a player, but the TD wants him, he has the power to say no, and that what is it called? Thing doesn't happen. If TD wants to let go of a player and he refuses, he has that veto power to say no. So the fact that he let some players go, it means he himself was not keen enough to fight for them.
Or is it a case that he doesn't have? Or is it a point that he doesn't have that power? Like, could that be part of the reason that you guys told me I have veto power?
He himself.
No, I'm saying as things have played out with some of the signings he wanted that he came out and told us about, with some of the guys leaving the club and he came out and told us about, could it be that he wanted to exercise veto power in the back end and, now you figure out that veto power is not real?
No, the thing is, you have to understand that even with veto power, there has to be consensus which is reached, right? That's why I've said, there has to be compromise between me and you. We are not. I would say we are people that interact a lot. We will always disagree, But there's always has to be a consensus which is reached, as people, right? So let me show you two examples where I felt these are not TD things, but the club were willing to bend the olive branch, whatever it's called, right? Look at the Losh signing. Like I said, Losh signing screamed Rulani,
Okay.
Zungu's signing screamed Rulani, and people are forgetting that at the beginning of the season, Coach Rulani wanted in his own technical team. He wanted Mangoba out. He wanted Coach Steve out. And the team, the team was like, no, we can't do that. But we're like, okay, fine. We're willing to let some of your guys in. Hence, we had to bring in Coach Lofman as SAP's coach.
Okay.
So now that is extending the branch. And when Steve Compella left, we're able to say, okay, fine, we can bring your guy then as a senior coach. So that is what a relationship has to be like. You can't always have things your way. That's why I say once a decision is made, you have to take responsibility of it and not talk about it. Like I say, it becomes a club position. And for me,
for time's sake, I'm just gonna last point there. Sorry,
what was the problem
I'll come back.
between the two things lastly was that I feel like Sundowns have learned from Pitso. A good team knows from a mistake. Like I said, Pitso left and we went. Now, are we willing to risk that with Rulani? That we do the same thing with Rulani, right?
Yeah.
And let's not forget that this is the same Rulani that jumped ship and went to Pirates, and he said he went to his own team. That is, he called that his own team. That is his father's team or whatever it's called, or his grandfather's team. So you can't trust so much power to a person who has shown you that he has the ability and has the willingness to leave you at any time, and the son hasn't even said, he was already flirting with Wadet. That is his true character.
Okay, I want to come back. Let me bring in.
And Coach Stone, okay, I'll answer.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back just for time. Let me go to Prarichi. Prarichi, has the news reached you guys in the Cape?
Hi, OT. Hi, OT. Yeah, the news has reached us. It comes as a very big surprise because this is a guy that has at his young age he's achieved. You understand? With a team like Sundowns, you understand. But sometimes you need to understand that you're not bigger than the organization. You see, you're an employee. You understand? So I like Rulani on a football perspective, but I don't like him on a personal perspective.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a level of arrogance that he doesn't control. You understand? And plus, Sundowns is a big club. They've achieved over the years. They have come through for the country itself. But I think it's a matter of me as the president of Sundowns, or the technical director, do I step my foot and say, this is a club and you listen to what we say? We give you the initial power, but you are not in charge of the club, you're in charge of the team. You understand? So I feel like it's sad in a way, but as agent has said, this guy has shown us flames. He jumped ship to Pirates, then left Pirates to cheaper, then came back to Sundowns. You understand? Rulani needs to learn that. He's learning in this game. You understand? And as older he gets, he needs to learn that there are some things that you need to compromise. You understand? Sundowns has shown us now that no one is bigger than Sundowns. Sundowns is bigger than any individual.
Yeah.
So he needs to sit down with himself. You know, just before I joined your live, I was listening to Andile Ncube, and there was this lady that he was interviewing, and this lady said, maybe in football there are signs. You understand? When it's time to go, it's time to go. Maybe Rulani would succeed as an international coach. We don't know. But let's not run away from the fact that Rulani has succeeded at Sundowns. He didn't win CAF, but locally he's taken Sundowns to another level. You understand? It's important when a coach comes in to keep that momentum in the club, that winning spirit going. But I feel for him, man. Sometimes these are not the way you want to leave a club. You understand? And a club that has a stature as Sundowns. Yes.
I want to ask you, Richie. Let's say Rulani didn't say the things. Let's say he wasn't as divisive as he was in press conferences. Let's say he came to press conferences. He did what 80% of the coaches in the PSL do. Just come in, jump the questions, dance around the hard ones, go home. Do you think that he would still have the job? How much does that play into this? Because I hear a lot of people say his arrogance and things like that. So if he was quiet and just did his job, do you think that he would still be a job, or do you think there's a deeper problem here?
If you check, I'll make an example of Jose Mourinho at Man United. If you remember, Jose came in there and he pointed out what the problems of the club is or are. And he had a big problem with an individual, Paul Pogba. And he called him out, you understand? We can't run away from the fact that Rulani has a big personality, you understand? And he needs maybe to be groomed. But what I like about Rulani is that he's not a person that he gives in quickly. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. He doesn't give in. You understand? He gives you what you want to hear, but he gives you what he wants you to know. You understand? Which is good as a coach. Sometimes we need to understand. Look at Erasmus from Pirates. The video that came out. Are clubs really appreciating our South Africans the way they should be appreciated? Whether Rulani was arrogant, whether he was not, what has he brought to the club? You understand? There's a fine line between his arrogance. Yes, he's arrogant, but what his job? Did he fulfill his duties? Yes. You understand? So we as South Africans, we need to support each other, but we also need to understand that we're not bigger than the organization, OT.
Okay. I'm going to come back for a quick last one. Let me go to Undala. Ndala, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, man.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm very happy, man. I'm very
You're happy?
You know,
Hey, tell me what you think about this.
I think we had lost against those that we lost.
Cape Town City.
An agent came in and said he was actually advocating for the money. I was very sad that why is this guy like me? You know? But the only thing I'm disappointed on, I think this was a late decision. I felt like they could have made it earlier. I also feel like the club still needs to tell us more on how the TD works and also how the coach works and how also the manager and the president, you know? Because I think that's the only thing that was Rulani's downfall, because probably when he was interviewed for the position, he was told what is the vision of the club. You know, they told him that the players are going to bring it for him. Maybe he's going to have some power to say which player they can bring. But I felt like throughout the season, him criticizing some of the time management and stuff like that was his downfall. You can't criticize the people that come in and bring you in, you know? But it's a late decision, man. Nothing much will change. Nothing much will change because we still have Coach Mangoba still in. So I don't see much happening unless they bring in a coach that we don't know can listen to what the club wants for the future, you know.
So then tell me, Ndala, tell me, you mentioned that this is a late decision. Do you think that Sundowns were going to let go of him in general, or do you think that something happened internally to force them to go down this route?
I think we've moved past an era. I don't even think we once had it here in South Africa. You know, the way a coach becomes like a manager or some sort of a technical director. We've never had that. You know, we have teams like Chippa United where the owners are deciding what type of players are coming in. All these clubs in the PSL have been like that. It's just that they've not been as hard as like Chippa, you know? So it is a late decision in terms of, I think he didn't meet the requirements. Maybe we should have won the MTN 8 and the Nedbank, or maybe went to the final of CAF. They knew by then that he had not met. Why didn't they like tell him that, hey, we are not happy with what has happened, we're going to cut your contract short? Rather than waiting for pre-season, then say, yeah, we don't want him. Yeah. But I still want him gone. Late decision or not, I still want him gone in the school.
Okay. Let me go to Prastomi. Prastomi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Tisha.
Mani right, Prastomi. What do you think about what happened here? What this situation? We
Yeah, OT. This is a part of football. Even though I don't like the decision.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I know Rulani what he has done for Sundowns because Umeki played 91 games, but Rosha 22, Waluza 9, and won 60 games. And no one has done that. And game is so funny that Abandi, they call themselves a proudly South African, they are happy and clapping hands that a young black South African coach has been fired by Team Yam. It's so fun about they call themselves Sundowns supporters. It's very, very funny and surprising. At least some of them they're not pretending, they're showing us the true colors that they hated Rulani in the first place. For the fact that you wish for him for not go for such long a time, he should have been fired a long time ago. That says something a lot about him. So this is the problem we have, because what I found out is that there's a problem between the director, sporting director of Sundowns, and Rulani Mokwena.
Yeah.
And sometimes we find out Rulani wanted to sign certain players, and the guy did not want to submit or to allow to sign those players. So such things have been there for a very long time. Because there's something they say Rulani wanted to sign Mabasa when he was at Swallows, and the guy denied him. And the rumors that are going around that there's a certain guy who's from Europe who's coming to Sundowns. We don't know which is which. And what I hear is that Sundowns have not made it completely saying Rulani is going, but there's a process behind the doors now, because I think they're negotiating the terms of his contract since they're terminating his contract, and the sort of payments and whatnot. So at some stage again, this is a part of football. We need to accept it. But on the other hand, I'm not happy with the choice they made to release it.
So Prastomi,
it says a lot.
No, go on.
It says a lot about South African coaches, because so many of us have something negative to say about our coaches. But come someone from outside here or Europe, they praise him every day. No one has seen Rulani what he has done to the coach, to the team, but all of them are here complaining Rulani this and this and that. So the negativity has been there about the guy. Social media, all socials, there have been so negative things about him. Hence, you hear people are not pretending, they are happy that he's going. What kind of nonsense is that?
So then can I ask you, Prastomi? Let's say, hypothetically, in the background, there was a fight that was happening between Rulani and Flemingberg, the sporting director. Does it make it easier for Sundowns to get rid of Rulani because of he's perceived as arrogant and he looks a certain way publicly? Do you think that Sundowns might be hiding some of their wrongs under him being arrogant? Because it seems like a lot of people wanted him out because he's got a mouth, even though when you look at the performance for a first year, I guess, as head coach, it's not that bad.
I think the arrogance of Rulani Mokwena has been something that has been orchestrated around the media. And hence everyone is using that Rulani is so arrogant. He couldn't talk to his management team. I don't know where is that coming from. None of them have worked close to Rulani to say we had this thing happening under our nose, but none of them said so these things have been orchestrated for a very long time. That is why at certain time and anarchy wins when people are drawing their nose too much on things with the negativity of destroying someone.
Okay. I'm going to come back, Pastor, but let me go to Umko. Welcome to the show. How are you?
How's it?
I'm right, Umko. How do you see this situation?
Yeah, very bad for South African football. I'm way too stormy here. A lot of Sundowns fans will say, no. They're really showing their true colors. I mean, like, this guy is competent. And we're busy saying he's arrogant. We're not even judging his success here at Sundowns. What does arrogance has to do with Rulani, if we're being honest? Sundowns won the past season 3 or 4 seasons consecutively. And then yet we're complaining. And there's a guy that has been appointed in 2022. He's a foreigner, he comes here and doesn't agree with Rulani. And then the first thing that we do in South Africa is to fire the coach. Our own coach. Nah. Like, I feel like Rulani has got a strong character, like Pitso Mosimane, for heaven's sake. And it comes with the knowledge of football that they have and the passion that they have for football. I mean, like, who is measuring a performance like Rulani? The technical director that has been appointed. When the team loses, who takes the blame? The technical director or the coach? It's the coach all the time. But now, because Rulani doesn't agree with the technical director, then we fire Rulani. None.
So then tell me, this is the question that I wanted to ask in the second round for everybody. Where does Sundowns go from here? Because up to this point, Sundowns has been a team that has developed their own coaches in a way. Pitso, Rulani comes from Pitso, Mangoba comes from Pitso in a way, in the Sundown sense. And it seemed like there was a conveyor belt that they'd built of internal coaches that know the culture, that have been there for a long time. Now, when you get rid of Rulani, is it now a time for Sundowns to clean sweep and get rid of everybody who was quote-unquote Pitso brought and the culture of Pitso, and install a new one? And is that maybe a risk going forward?
But even if they do that, on what basis? Or what has gone wrong? That's where the issue is with me, because I'm trying to understand what has happened exactly with the coaching staff. Have they underperformed in the past 2 years? That's my issue, because it's not making any sense. I'm looking at this issue of Rulani, and then I'm thinking to myself, when I read the news on Twitter, I was like, no man, something might have happened. Something that is very, very serious. Maybe we don't know yet. There could be something that is very serious. But to say there's a breakdown of relationship between the technical director and Rulani, and then I'm like, who's sitting on the sideline and making sure that the team is winning games? Who sits every night, plans for games so that the team can win? Who has won the league with the players? That's why I'm saying, even if they have arrived at that decision to say they are getting rid of the coaching staff, but on what basis? Let's look at that. Is it anything that has to do with their performance? And I don't agree if it's anything to do with performance. In my own books, Sundowns technical staff, coaching staff has done well.
Okay. Well, for time's sake, I'm going to jump in. Let me just to allow the next people to come in. Kumo, same question to you. Where does Sundowns go from here? Because I think it's a crossroads right now between doing the way Sundowns has always done them, and now technical director led hiring of coaches from outside. Where does Sundowns go, and do you think that there's any risk at all in what's happening?
Oh, okay. Sorry. As Sundowns fans, we are entitled to our own opinions. Nobody disputed Rulani is successful, but that doesn't mean because he's black, he's young, he's local, we have to agree with what he says. I love Rulani, and if he's leaving, and if I didn't like the way he plays, I'm a fan. I don't like the way he plays. I prefer Pitso's tactics over his, but his tactics proved more efficient because we won record anyway. Other than Kopika Pucha, I get nail for CAF what they don't want to give in hand, but if they don't give it to Mangawa meeting, it'll be a disgrace. I can yaki anyone aside from Kopi or Mangawa meeting, coach Sundowns. So that's all I'm gonna say about this. If they bring on Busi Dramivic, but bring on Bradley Canel or at least someone from Europe, unless Kumori and I but yeah, it happened. But you can't be a coach and be disrespectful yourself, come more and cry racism or xenophobia, whatever the case might be. Yeah.
How get out of my effing country? Let me go. Let me go to Agent. Agent, can these two things coexist? Because I feel like the crossroads we've always spoken about when it comes to Mamelodi Sundowns, that at some point it's either you are going all the way with this TD approach and hired guns and all of that, or you continue with your homegrown thing. Can they exist together? And where does Sundowns go from here?
Firstly, I think we need to correct this sense of entitlement that some fans have, that they are more equal than others. Like I always say, opinions are like the honors, everyone has them. Others are more smaller than others, but still is that honors, So we need to respect each other's honors, So just because you hold different opinion doesn't make one a less of a fan than you. So I think this is one of the mentalities that frustrate me with Sundowns fans, and you always hear me in the group saying it, that guys will always have different opinions. But anyways, as it does. So firstly, before I go, I'll quickly touch on a question. This season wasn't as great as it was. We should never forget that this season was not an improvement from last season. How many times did we benefit? We benefited so many times this season that I've lost count. Our style of play didn't improve. We grinded results, and some of the results, I would say 10, 11, we didn't deserve them. Some we benefited, some used to wins at the last minute. Our style of play wasn't impressive. So even if on principle Rulani was to be fired on trophies, it was still going to be deserved. I personally wouldn't have fired him. I would have given him a more season, but he signed 9 new players. So we can't say the ROE, return on investment, is one league title and a fake Mokufe Cup. No, we can't say that, But anyways, we're not there. Where we go from now, I think for me, the conveyor belt has been broken, because the next, I think Rulani was supposed to stay 4 more years or 5 years so that we can develop our Lofman, we can develop our Coach Kennedy, we can develop Coach Wendell so that they can take over. But I think now that Rulani is living a bit more earlier than I had hoped, or as the club would have hoped, I think now we have to go outside, And for me, I don't want white coaches. I want a Fabrice Ngembe, for example. What is it called? Al-Sahal coach. The one that was with Pitso for pro lessons.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, yeah, I want someone who's tried and tested in CAF Champions League, you know.
Is there a risk to
Because
do
for
these
me,
things
I
now,
feel like
Agent?
Coach Mangowa should be the safe pair of hands that should always be there in the background. I don't want him as a head coach because I want him fired. Yeah.
Is there a risk to do these things now? Is there a risk to make these type of changes now? Do you think that it might affect your guys' season, or do you think that Mangoba's got enough expertise there to be able to, at the very least, keep the standard?
I think we should be fine to transition from new coach, old coach. While I think we will in the league, definitely. I'm not sure about cups, and I'm not sure about CAF. For me, I feel like in terms of CAF, now we have to delay the hope for 2 more years or 3 more years, because with Rulani, I would hope that next season or the season after we should have definitely have won it. Now we have to give the next coach 2 more years, 1 more year. But for me, I feel like perhaps this is the right time to transition, you know, from having coaches who are familiar, you know, to coaches who, my guy, we give you a mandate, 2 years, you win CAF, or 1 year, you have to win Champions League, or you're out, you know, because I feel like with this self-developed coaches, it's difficult to separate the professionalism and the mandate to the love, you know, and the affection, you know. Because I feel like Rulani could have gotten away with not winning Champions League for the next 3 years or 4 years because of the affection that the fans have for him, some fans, and the management has generally for him, you know. So I think this is the point where you have to break the curse and the generational curse of it and say, the next quiz that comes in, your mandate is Champions League or nothing. Yeah. So I think this is the right time to transition.
Okay. No, Agent, thank you so much. Let me go to Ndala. Ndala, where does Sundowns go from here? Do you break the conveyor belt? Do you say, as in, guys, we're no longer doing the thing where we have coaches internally who've been there for a long time who take over? Do you just now say we are completely changing? And is there a risk maybe to a culture change like that?
Sorry, man, I got disturbed by a call. Can you please just repeat that?
I'm asking, where does Sundowns go from here? Because this thing of ingrown coaches might end now, and you start bringing in coaches from outside to become maybe, you know, contract workers. Is there a risk to Sundowns doing that and changing their culture? How do you feel about that change?
I think as much as we feel, some feel good, some feel bad about Rulani leaving, Sundowns already has a structure. That's why when there was no problems, we never struggled after he left. Because we already know how we want to play, what type of players we want. If we give that responsibility to a coach, and then that coach is at Sundowns for 5 years, then 1 year he decides to leave us. Then it means we have to start afresh and build a structure again. But we are no longer at that level as Sundowns. We already have a structure. We are not dependent on Coach Rulani or Mangoba, whoever. We can bring in another coach who tell him how we want to play and what type of players we need and how you must behave. Because that's the problem that we had, that guy. He's not bigger than that.
So then can I ask you,
so I don't think...
But can I ask you, do you hold Fleming accountable? So is Fleming, as the technical director, as the head of the structure, do we look back 5 years from now and say, you took decisions, let's say, in the club, you made some choices, it's not working out, we let you fire Rulani, we let you bring in a coach of your choosing, you control the budgets and the transfers. Do you think that there comes a time where, will you guys or Sundowns be able to hold Fleming accountable?
Let's not put the whole responsibility on Fleming alone. Because we can't sit here and say, because the news wrote that they can fall out with him, he doesn't have that power to fire Rulani alone. Right? So if he presented the case to say we no longer need Rulani, then it means we need to blame the president himself, the managers. We need to blame all of them, the truth, right? Because it means you are no longer believing in the vision that Sundowns is supposed to play this way.
Yeah.
So we can't put it on Flaming back and that next season when we don't win the league and then we say, yeah, it is because we don't have Rulani. No, it means the coach that they got in next season. Then
But
it's
at
no
what
longer
point-
following
but-
the Sundowns.
But at what point do you hold Fleming accountable? I think this is my question. Besides the Rulani thing, what I am scared about, and obviously it's just the unproven fear right now, but what I'm scared about is that Fleming becomes like the PSL technical directors. The guys who are in the background, they never get fired, they never get moved on, they never get questioned about where the club is going or the club is here right now. Is there a mechanism, or do you guys think that you can hold Fleming accountable too, or should you hold him accountable to some of these decisions as well?
Let me put it this way. The same way Rulani had a mandate is the same way this guy might be in here now to say, when the president had hired me, he said in 5 years we need to have CAF or we need to have achieved this. But I see that this guy that I have under me, he's not going to give me that. Let me rather look for another guy. I don't know if maybe I make sense.
Yeah.
So he's
Okay.
also in fear. Maybe he has a target of some sort, 5 years maybe. In the
No,
next
go
5
on,
years, he
go
needs
on.
to do this at some point. So when that 5 years reaches, we have to blame him because we would have not reached this target.
Okay. Let me bring you to Prastomi. Where does Sundowns go from here?
Yes, but there's always a time why I don't take some opinions seriously.
Okay.
That is why there's a reason behind that I don't respect such opinions. Because you hear someone is claiming to be Sundowns support. Ngok is telling us Sundowns won FAL Plastic Cup, which is Makofe Cup. AJ, how old are they?
Guys, mina ngizingeni. Let's. I'm letting you reply because I let them speak. But yeah, let's get back on topic.
Okay, let me say this, OT. What I notice is that Sundowns lost 2 cup finals under Coach Rulani and won FAL. And if Sundowns lost that FAL final, it would be treated to those people who are saying Rulani won a plastic cup. Those people are calling themselves a true Sundowns fans. Yo, I shall.
Prastomi, mase phambili iyaphi Sundowns.
No, OT, whatever decision they took, I will respect it. Even though on the other side, I don't like it. We'll see how it's going to pan out and how it's going to take the team forward.
Are you going to hold Fleming accountable? Are we going to hear the same noise for Fleming that we see for coaches, for example?
Too much. I am taking that side. For the fact that we will analyze a coach by personality, not the games. Everyone is taking arrogance. Media briefings has done. What kind of nonsense is that, man?
Okay.
At this age, OT, the understanding about football sometimes does not rely on other things. I understand in football you cannot win all games. You can draw, lose, or win. But at some time, if you sign 4 years with a team, at least now, on my side, it would be easy when you say you coach plus minus 3 years.
Okay.
Because what I've noticed, Coach Ateta has bottled the league 2 times. I haven't seen the news about him that is with the team. So the cards and the understanding of football in South Africa is very shocking. And in other coaches, they're expected to win all the games. But on others, they're not. So it comes as a hypocritical thing because this thing will affect the team in the long run.
Okay.
Yeah, because we cannot make choices based on the emotions.
Okay, Prastomi, for time's sake, I'm gonna just bring in Mko because I'm gonna have to switch into the next panel. Mko, where does Sundowns go from here? What do they do? I mean, it seems like Rulani might be the last of Pitso's people, quote unquote. Maybe Mangoba is going to toe the line, but it seems as though that might be finished. Where does Sundowns go?
Yeah, it seems like things are changing there. I mean, it's evident. Someone was saying, Guma comments, and these people, my friends, they are drunk with success, and soon they will sober up. And I asked myself, how much did Rulani make for Sundowns last year? Let's think about that. He won the continental tournament. He won the league.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying maybe things are drastically changing there. That's why they are making these decisions and firing Rulani. Maybe there's a new coach that is coming, and maybe has something to do with that as well. And I guess time will tell.
What do you think of the comments that I had made about Fleming? That are you guys going to hold him accountable, or is Sundowns going to be able to hold him accountable too for his choices? Because all I've heard here, to be honest with you, is about Rulani. And now I want to know if the story is that Rulani was clashing with the TD. How do you make sure that the TD is doing what is meant to be done for Mamelodi Sundowns? And is maybe Rulani becoming a victim because he's outside?
That's what I said earlier. I said Rulani sits with the players, he plans with the players, and then when he wins, that's the team celebrates. But when he loses again, no one looks at the technical director. And then I keep wondering as well, because I'm thinking, what is the role of the technical director in terms of signing and releasing players? Because seemingly he has a lot of power in terms of signing and releasing players. So obviously we have to play him if Sundowns is not winning anything in the coming. Yeah, we have to, because I believe he has the right, or whatever prerogative that he has, to appoint a new coach.
Okay.
I believe he has a hand in that. So we have to blame him if Sundowns doesn't make it.
Okay, no. Thank you so much, Mko. Guys, I'm gonna get ready for the next panel just now. Guys, please follow if you have not followed. Guys, the reason why I'm bringing this up, the reason why I want to have this conversation like this, is that I hear everything about Coach Rulani. Coach Rulani, you look at him on the pitch, you look at his coaching decisions, you look at how many games he's won and lost and done, all of that stuff in the press conference he's spoken about, and we formed an opinion about him, whether right or wrong. Yay. Apologies for that. I don't know whether it's right or wrong. We know him, but there's an issue in South Africa where coaches become scapegoats, and the same people who run clubs are the same people at the back, are the same people that do a lot of the transfers and things like that. So what I'm asking Sundowns is that, for once, it seems like they're in the same boat as a lot of PSL teams. Does Fleming have too much power, right? For example, now Rulani Hambi, and Rulani had the advantage of having been at Sundowns for a very long time. He had the advantage of Pitso's blessing. He had the advantage of a lot, which meant that maybe in a room with the technical director, he could stand across from him and say, this thing that you're talking about right now is not something that makes sense to me, right? And I can use my credit with the club to stand up to you. Now, if it's not Mangoba and somebody else comes in, it's got to be a coach that doesn't have that. And now in that situation, you'll find Ore Fleming has the power. And one thing you have to guard against is going down the road of a lot of PSL clubs where the results are the same. They're bad or whatever. Mara, logunchinchabo coach. I know my club, for example. We've had the same management for a very long time. when things are going wrong, it's not management's heads that roll, or the sporting director, as they call it, right? Or the general manager. I think Bobby's now called the football manager. So now, how do you police and look at Fleming as well? Someone who most of us here have not heard his voice. Most of us don't know what his goals for Mamelodi Sundowns are, what his mandates are. Rulani, it's easy because you see it. You have to win the league, we know the points. You have to win the Champions League, we know, we watch you. You have to do 1, 2, and 3, and we can quantify it. But can you do that for the TD? Anyway, guys, for the next few panels, I see there's a lot of people. I'm gonna ask you to please, I'm gonna hold you to 2 minutes, so that we can get as many people in. So let me just make sure the people who are here get brought in. There's people who have been waiting for a while. Get brought in, and we can go from there. Oh, Abanye have jumped off. Okay. See, poor. I'm gonna bring. Hey, are you guys all requesting now? Let me see. Buyo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Buyo, you've got 2 minutes. What do you think about this situation?
Oh, shit, it's one of the sad situations for Sundowns supporters. But since I have 2 minutes, let me quickly. I think Rulani, it got wrong when he signed the contract.
Okay.
Because as a head coach or as a manager, you need to sign a contract whereby no one is interfering at your job. The minute you sign, because of you happy for the moment, everyone is gonna interfere. And he knows the sporting director for a long time.
Sorry, OT. Kolan, can you please mute?
Hey, guys, okay, let's see. Guys, I'm on the panel. There's a little bit of an echo. Apologies for that. It's just an issue on the live, on the multicast. We can hear you fine. We're sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I think it's where he got it wrong. Yeah, because I remember even Zidane, when he arrived at Real Madrid for the first time as a head coach, as a manager, he signed a contract whereby he allowed to instruct or whatever. So that contract it's very, very wrong, because the sporting director, he tried when Pitso was there, but he failed because Pitso, you know Pitso.
So
yeah,
then,
he was there.
Vuyo, for time, because we're getting close to time, I want to ask you. They've been together since 2022. That's a good two years, baby, that Rulani has been working with this man. When he got promoted, he was still working with this man. What went wrong? Or what did Rulani not look out for with him signing his contract?
Sometimes, like e.g., you sign mediator, don't use those players. It's one of the problems that Sundowns has been doing all over the years. As a sport director, you get interfere some of the things like that. Why are you signing players that you're not using? Because we must make sure the team is going forward.
Okay.
And he allowed this situation to get worse when he lose the Champions League and he didn't go to the final. If he go to the final and lose to the final, it must be something else.
Okay.
And the favoritism, I know people that don't talk about it, but it's true. There is some of the favoritism that he was doing at Sundowns.
Okay. For time's sake, I'm going to have to jump in there. Let me bring in Sipo. Sipo, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you, OT? I'm fine, man.
I'm good. Sipo, we've got 2 minutes. What do you think about this situation?
OT, it's a normal situation of football. Coaches come and go. And the challenge is that you'll never hear coaches telling us the real story, why they are leaving, because they don't want to burn bridges. But for South African football, it's a bad thing. We don't know for Sundowns. We don't know the thinking behind that one. Yes. But then personally, I don't support Sundowns, but I feel it's a bad decision.
Okay.
He's upcoming, he's young, he's having new ideas, he's growing, he's winning. So I don't know. Maybe the challenge is Champions League. Maybe that could be the reason. We can't be blaming Rulani's arrogance. How long has he's been at Sundowns? Can't be blaming arrogance. He's just the thing with coaches that they are different. If you look at Jurgen Klopp and Pep, they are different. You take Mourinho, he's different. Coaches can't be the same. They've got different personalities. So unfortunately, Sundowns has made the decision, but if it is made by the technical director, then the next coach is in danger.
Do you think that Sundowns fans, very quickly, do you think that Sundowns fans should be worried then if they're starting to experience the issues that everybody else has been experiencing for years?
Yes, we have been saying Sundowns is doing good administration and what. But we could be speaking from a blind view. This could be, yeah. So Sundowns fans should start being afraid. They might be like us Chiefs and Pirates.
I know. Thank you,
signing off players.
No, thank you, Sipo. For time's sake, I'm gonna have to jump in. Prampo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Motsepe and the panel and everyone.
Prampo, only 2 minutes, Prampo. You wanna join Tabayin?
Now I'm excited. At least they break the moving train. I bet Sundowns is a well-fine machine. Understand? Now I'm happy. I don't feel anything for Sundowns. I don't want to buy face. Sundowns, it is the 10 years under one drought. Sundowns is going there. I'm happy. Now I get it. I heard they bring this guy from Egypt who's going to come to coach Sundowns. If you want to understand the PSL now, Reda, we're cruising nicely. I'm excited. I don't know how to get it. Let them destroy what they built. Ego destroy Sundowns.
Is this ego?
Chiefs, it was destroyed by ego. Now they did listen to us as supporters. They did what we asked from them. Let Sundowns feel what we are feeling now. 57 supporters, they will know. Good night. I'm happy.
Okay, Prabhu. Hey, Polani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. Oti, thank you very much for it too, Mr. Oti.
Polani, na 2 minutes ngitshele ukuthi man uyibona njani le ndaba. Ngiyazi ukuthi kudala siyikhuluma but still. Let's see.
Yo, Oti, yes, I'm struggling with the network.
Yo, wait.
I'm not sure if I'm audible up again.
You can hear. I can hear you. Just. What do you think about this?
Oh, okay, Mr. Oti. You know that I saw this coming. I've been saying this for the past 2 weeks, So for me, Mr. Oti, I saw it coming, and in reaction, I'll say as a Sundowns fan, and all Sundowns fans, I've grown thick.
It's on the way.
Hey, man. You can go on that,
asking
Colin. Yeah,
Sotsi.
sorry about that.
So as an old Sundowns fan, I've grown a thick skin, Mr. Oti. I'm able to take these things with chest, Mr. Oti. Like after Upito's departure, Upito renewed contract with us, and then in 2 days he announced his departure. He's going to Ahly. So this thing, Rulani, doesn't hit me that hard. So and Mr. Oti, I don't think we're gonna fall, because I still think Upito was much like his departure Gapito hit us very hard. And Rulani is just another coach. But take nothing away from Rulani, Mr. Oti. The guy did very well for us. It's just that I think the luck wasn't on his side, because to reach 2 finals for Ahly Cups is not child's play, Mr. Oti. So if it wasn't for luck, maybe he would still be our coach. But I'm not questioning his coaching and tactics, but his personality, Mr. Oti, and attitude. So yeah, farewell to him. Sebong Rulani. He's been a good coach to us, but for me personally, I think we needed to let him go. In terms of the team, for the sake of the team to grow and be able to be a bigger team and reach a heights, Mr. Oti. Because you can't be a coach and in the middle of the war, you're telling us that you're tired, Mr. Oti. Like you can't be telling me what you're tired. See, Mr. Oti. But when Oti, hey, how about we teach this war and then someone next season? We're in the middle of the war, Mr. Oti. It's round 2, and you're telling me Oti, you tired? No, I think he wasn't fit for the hot chair with Sundowns, but he's a good coach. Take nothing away from him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me go to Tebza. Tebza, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, so.
Tebza, tell me, we want to join taba ena man Tebza ka wane ka utlwa batho ba lla ka mo.
Yeah, but then tell me, OG, isn't the sporting director also getting involved in the hiring and the firing of the coaches?
Yeah, they should. It's part of their role.
Yes, that's why. That's what I know also. They know who the direction FA. You understand? Yes, Rulani was the coach, but then it means they didn't have the same vision anymore. Okay. One should leave. If that's the case, one should leave. Understand? Unfortunately, it was Rulani. You understand? So it means the sporting director had other plans, and then Rulani had other plans. Now the sporting director took a decision. Now he will bring another coach that will take them to the direction that Sundowns needs to take. You understand? So we've had Rulani saying he needs 4 years to win CAF, of which I'm not a Sundowns supporter, but then I thought he's asking too much. 4 years. You understand? Such things are the things that show us okay, maybe it's another way of saying the sporting director said no. You have players. You requested for players to give you. Understand? Now you're telling us about 4 years to win the CAF. We know what the Sundowns show with the league. They win it by default, effortless. Now their main focus is to dominate Africa. So it means here now he needs 4 years to dominate Africa. He compares himself to Pitso, whereas Pitso started this thing from the bottom. He now created in the blood. Then he wants 4 years. No. Okay. I agree with the sporting director if they didn't see things you understand? So they should get that's a big team. They should be very focusing on CAF, winning it, just like Ahly were winning it. They are at that level right now. Let's be honest. They can do it.
They can do. So I believe it's the right decision and they will not suffer.
Okay, Tebza. Thank you so much. Guys in the comments, I have a question for the comments. It feels like everybody trusts the technical director, Flemingberg. Why do you guys have so much trust in Flemingberg? Because I'm starting to think, or there's a sense that maybe Rulani, as a polarizing person, all of those things are being placed on him. Why do we automatically trust Flemingberg? Or maybe you guys know a little bit more about him in terms of him and Mamelodi Sundowns, because this is now his second or third year at Mamelodi Sundowns. So I wanna know. Let me go to ASAP. ASAP Chamber, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, Mr. OT. Sabonga kakhulu for ithuba mfowethu.
My brother, you've got 2 minutes. Tell me, what do you think about this situation?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. But it definitely feels like it's a decision that was taken within the last couple of days and not something that they thought of after the loss to Pirates, because they wouldn't have given him that contract extension. I wonder how much the releasing of Zungu had to play in it, and then the procurement of this European-based player that they want to bring in, just named Khanye, how much that played into this whole situation, because the Zungu release was a bit weird. We're seeing it on Instagram instead of an official release from the club, you know. So I wonder how much Rulani knew of those things happening. And I don't think Rulani was fired. I think that there were disagreements, and they decided it's okay, we clearly can't come to a middle ground. Let's go our separate ways, which I think is very different to being fired.
Yeah.
So I don't like this narrative that Rulani was fired. I would suggest okay, the relationship has gotten to a point where so what's best for the club is with Mkampe, everyone goes their separate way. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing here is the club and not the individuals. Even Nalinda Bale with Rulani arrogance, we need a coach who's arrogant, like Rulani, to take away pressure from the players. That shields Abadal too, you know, and I'm surprised to see I'm a fan of Sundowns complaining about his arrogance, not seeing how much that gives Abadal to freedom to do what they need to do on the pitch and not focus too much on what's being said in the papers and what the journalists are trying to distract them with. I would love to hear your mind, maybe later on in the night, regarding what you think this means to the playing style of Bafana, considering that Sundowns was the foundation of our national team. And considering that there's a small window that Bafana had found, and if you think this will affect it in any way, but you don't have to answer that now.
Hey, ASAP, you want to drag me into deep waters?
You don't have to answer that now. Kulek.
No, for time's sake, my brother. Okay. No, thank you, my brother. Let me bring in Maronza. Maronza, welcome to the show, my brother. Skipper and Maronza. Oh, Maronza. Let me see if I can help him. Okay, we'll come back. Maronza, let me go to Rocky. Rocky, welcome to the show. How are you? Evan, guys, are you all muted? I'm sending invites to unmute. There we go.
Okay, thank you, my brother. I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Welcome to the show, my brother. Tell me, you've got 2 minutes. What do you think of this situation with Coach Rulani?
This whole situation, on my side, I think it's not only because of his relationship with technical director. I also, when I looked at Sundowns matches, most of players that are good at Sundowns are not playing. And there are players like Mendy, they were signed with a lot of money at the beginning of season. They were never really used. And I looked at those games against younger and experience. I think those games are the ones that made things worse for Rulani, because most of the guys were on the stand. I looked at players like Maema, we have Tapelo Murena and Mendieta also. He decided to sign Lodge from Pirates, and Lodge didn't have that much experience in those CAF games. Those were very crucial games. Sundowns needed those players who have been playing CAF and they have that experience to win those games. And he used his own players there and he failed to go through.
Okay.
So on my side, I think that is the problem. He might have had a bad relationship, but I think that's the problem.
But isn't that part of a coach's job, that you get to choose your players? And maybe should that be an issue if management is stepping in because of that? That you get to choose to play your players?
Yes, it's his choice, yes. But if that plan of yours fail, then the management come in and they decide to let you go because they have other ideas that no, Mendata is good, we signed him and you did not use him. So they have a right to do so as well.
Okay, Rocky, for time's sake, I'm going to bring in, let's see if Maronza, I'm sending you another invite to unmute. Just see if you can't unmute there.
Yeah, I think I'm okay now.
There we go. Maronza, welcome. You've got 2 minutes, Maronza. Let's keep on the Sundowns, man.
Uratomo mfethu. Wani ngale nali.
Wathura umkhozi indaba. Umnikazi wendaba.
Umnikazi wendaba uratomo. Wani ngale nali. No man, I think the decision I think it is not because of he got fired. I think there's something bigger than that.
Okay.
There's no way. I think they didn't play good football. For me, that is my opinion. You understand me? This roller coaster that they were playing last season, it was something else. Everybody, yes, they're winning and all that, but there's something bigger than that. To be honest, look at it. You cannot win 29 games and then after that they fire you. I think there's a disagreement with something, and in time we'll get to the bottom of it, or we'll get the news to see what happened.
Where does Sundowns go from here, Maronza? Where does Sundowns go? Because it feels like this might be an opportunity to change everything I want in a new system, or do they stick with what they've been doing up to this point?
You know what? Sundowns bigger now, you know. So they don't have to change much. You know, they have experienced players and all that. Anybody can coach Sundowns, you know. So what they need is just to continue from where they are. And the other thing, what they want, I think is to win the Champions League. I think that is their main mandate now. Yeah, but another thing that we need to look at, right? I think Rulani, we're not asking this question. What is the mandate that Rulani was given? You know, we were not asking that. What was he given? If there's a mandate, then if he failed in that mandate, they have a right to fire him.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay.
So we're not asking that, but I feel there's something bigger than that. And you know, there's so many things in Sundowns, man. It's same as Pirates. That's why Pirates majaveza is born. Sundowns I wish nabaveza one day is born.
Hey, we're gonna speak about Lento Pirates. Hayi sekele Barbarossa. Hi, Member. Zikhuluma leyo. There's a day I want to put aside for that one. Thank you so much, Baronza. But for time, I need to bring in U's Pesitla. Pesitla, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. Uti. I'm good, Mr. Uti.
Tell me specifically, you've got 2 minutes. What do you
But
think
before I
about
start
this
talking-
situation?
Okay, before I start talking, I would like to say something, Yana. We're
Okay.
Pitso. We're Pitso. We're Pitso.
When it comes on.
I'm a bit sad and I'm a bit happy, Mr. OT.
Okay.
Sad on the point that we're losing a serial winner here. Yeah, the man is a winner. Rulani has been a winner. His stats are tier 1. Ne? But then also at the same time, my biggest problem with Rulani throughout the whole season was the point that he could not stay composed under pressure. When we needed that winning mentality from him, he did not deliver it. If you look at the clash against S2Es, uncharacteristic. And then you look at the lineup against the Pirates, the Nedbank Cup, uncharacteristic lineup. We did playing Zungu there. And another thing is that there's no difference between last season and this season.
Okay.
As much as you won and was close to achieving an invincible season, but nobody remembers what you almost did.
Okay.
We remember what you delivered. You see? And winning the league at Sundowns is not something to be proud of. It's we understand it's a pathway to achieve our objections. You can't say you put the league on the table. Because it's something that it's a trophy that you are mandated to win right now at Sundowns. Any coach that walks into Sundowns, you have to win the league. Yeah, well. So for me, yeah, it was quite underwhelming this season at Sundowns, considering what they had and the players that we brought in. And I think also that thing of the players like Omendieta and who are the other players who got drafted in who failed to hit the running.
Yeah.
Who failed to hit the ground running. Because a lot of money was spent, Mr. OT, during the season.
For
And
time's
we
sake,
did not
though.
achieve some of the objections that we set.
For time's sake, though, I'm going to have to jump in there just for time's sake, so that we can keep it moving. Let me bring you Velile. Thank you so much, Pesile. Velile Mtakababa, you in 2 minutes. Cela ungitshele, ngiyakwazi wena, cela ungitshele uyibona njani?
Bayatsamaya. Oh no, Elia. I do.
Hey, ngiyahlupha.
Hey. Unjani mntakababa?
Ngiright mntakababa, mara ngitshele naku kuyakhaliwa, mina ngifuna ukwazi uyibona njani?
Ngasiqale ngawe nawe manje ukhuluma ne-TikTok ukuthi ulungise la sakhatha ile app yakho behave njenge-Kaizer Chiefs lawo manje. Please man. Awu, sijwayele le live yethu lesiku live sizwana ama-echo. Nazi ngizisa ngala bantu please ulungise into zenu. Hayi. Yeah. Umanqoba akaphakami sahle sathi zoyilungisa le ndaba. Sayiqala ePulukwane siqedile Bombela. Mangithatha kancane bangikhothi ngizolungisa menda. Bayiqalo yini nje ngiyaqedelela. No nje hayi. Akwehlanga lungehlanga.
Oyizele kuzohleka la veli. Mara Velile, ngifuna ukukubuza, ngifuna
kumnandi kuphume nabo ASAP share. Ngiyamkhumbula ASAP share boy gcina le. Akushaye isilungu asiyeka ashayisi.
Mara ngifuna ukukubuza Velile. Le ndaba ka-TD. Mina ngazi, I feel like people are giving him the benefit of the doubt. Ungazi ukuthi ibuyaphi.
Yeah.
What?
No man, on the serious note,
It's the same thing. One of our own is losing umsebenzi, but at the same time we have to realize i-talent and the direct premier team angayithathayo because mawungathi uyabheka uPitso uhambe maybe after lo mbhemi aqeda ukuphila if anginamali
Okay.
Fleming. Oh, and remember, sometimes you hear Pitso when it's a person who likes to be in charge of his team because I forgot that if the results are going to be on him, then he needs to be in charge of the team. So I think maybe it's one of those things. And if they are not team, they need to decide which direction they take. If whether they like to have the PD or just the
Okay.
coach being fully in charge of the team. Because at the same time, you cannot. Because
Iyakhatha.
hayi akunankinga ujabule.
Okay.
Oh, you're being selfish.
Very quickly velile
Yes,
mara.
yeah, understand that umsebenzi wakhe, but at the same time, if all the powers in terms of signing and the direction the team ithathayo is gonna be based with TD, then TD should be the coach. But if the coach is fully responsible for the team, then the results must be based with the coach. And the coach must take full responsibility. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it has no less than but because Rulani just brought something different. I can find some results when I affected the sun.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen a different style of coaching Rulani in terms of switching tactics in the middle of the game and it's showing good he will come with something that will surprise us. But yeah.
Time velile mara wena.
Yes, sizomkhumbula yena.
Uvelile uvelile.
To everyone who comment if they want two version of this thing abanye bazenza ngene la join lapha ku YouTube you will hear them a group bakhuluma kanjani all our agent for line akumo
Okay.
hear the true vision of them you go
Guys,
to YouTube join overthinking football uzobathola uzoya true vision kanyanhlebela njani.
Okay,
Yeah.
hey, Uvelile. You know, Uvelile always does this. That's a group in, he does this. He comes in and incites us, Mara Velile, for time. Let me bring you Malume Kutso. Malume Kutso, welcome to the show. Mara. Hey, remember, Latina.
Zacho sifila semnati.
Hey.
Awulina kiyarata. Oh, namanyeno ye tabe yasiyo. Tabe yasiyo. Liba halaledi Mr. Oti. Yabona bengithi zokhuluma nge-football and black people lebo and Sundowns as a representation of black excellence. I'm heard that they're hiring someone else. Hayi mara mana ngeni lapho Mr. Oti. Ngifuna ukuvula elinye ivesi elinzima kabi Mr. Oti. Just to say to Coach Rulani, you are not alone. Coach Rulani, you are not alone. Ayiqali ngawe lento futhi. Yaqale Orlando, abahambi Jali, bahamba ngompopoto.
Oh, wait.
Yaya Bulukwane, abo Rashid the Rock, bahamba ngeyifuba phansi. Khona Bulukwane, abo Coach Manqoba, baphelelwa imisebenzi. Sayithatha sayisembombela. Bongani Zungu, Bethen Zungu, Mr. Oti. Adula karibunu phansi. 94th minute. Everything was okay. Penalties. Ronan Williams. Cup secured. Like the early 2000. Yashamba kampongwana. Old school. Lari mpongwana yaphela career Mr. Oti. Can I get an amen? Bazokhuluma wathi flaming peg. Ayikho indaba ka flaming peg.
Yo, guys.
Right on mara ifetsa. Mofukeng. Hallelujah Mr. Oti.
Hey, bara, whatever Kutso. Hey, Luna. But it's fine. It's fine. Let me bring it up, Siana. And they're like this in the group, man. Musiana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, good, Oti, my man. How's it?
I'm good. Hey, Bara Shapakari Vesman from the book of Pagania. Tell me, Musiana, here's the situation. What are your general thoughts about Coach Rulani and what happened today? You've got 2 minutes.
Hey, Oti, this is, I'm going to sound very political on this thing.
Okay.
One, Rulani is the son of the soil. And we tend to be harsher than on our own people than these guys that come from overseas and who doesn't win nothing. And we become nicer to them. For example, Rulani broke records and even collected 75 points, or almost 75 points for Sundowns. I'm not sure now anymore. And you won a double. The cup that you won in Africa, it was not played by Mickey Mouse teams. They selected the best team in Africa, and he beat them. You know, and now he must be sacked. And I also believe this has nothing to do with results.
Yeah.
It must have something to do in a boardroom. Someone did something to someone that we don't know, because we are speculating now. Because I can tell you, if Sundowns is result orientated, they should have been happy with Rulani. Because last season, actually, they won only one cup last season. They didn't win double. But this season that he did bad, because my thing is, last season Rulani they didn't go. But this season, they collected more than 50 points and won another cup, which is that they've got a double. How do you then sack someone on that position? Doesn't make sense to me. And unfortunately, I can bet you now, same thing that happens in Bayern Munich, it's what's happening in Sundowns. They're gonna regret it, and Fleming must take the whip as well. This backfires.
Okay. So now, for time's sake, guys, this is again, before I let you know, Richard, this is my question again. You know, what role do we give to Fleming? Because he arrived in 2022, which means that it was co-coaching year where Mangoba was demoted. It's now the coaching year when Rulani is now let go. We'll hear the confirmation, but he's let go. At what point do you look at the technical director and say, my guy, we also have to look at you? I saw a comment earlier speaking about when Man City has been winning. I think it was Kumo said Man City has been winning all these years. Well, when they brought in Pep, they took out the technical director. When they brought in, when Liverpool brought in Klopp, they changed the entire back and fired a lot of people, brought up some people and hired some others. So do we have the same accountability in South Africa for the people who are in the background, for the guys in the back, as the Den says, the nameless, faceless people that are in the ears of our chair people? But anyway, let me welcome Richard. Richard, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Richard, you've got 2 minutes. Tell me, what do you think about this situation with Coach Rulani?
Man, to be honest with you, as a Pirates fan, I'm not happy. Reason why I'm not happy is because I have a feeling Sundowns was not going to dominate next season. I believe that Rulani was going to get a tough time. I just wanted to see how was he going to respond under those circumstances. And I believe we were going to give Sundowns a run for the league this time around. You see? So like now that he's going, I'm one of the people that was not happy at all. You see? I just wanted to see how was Rulani going to react under the pressure that the three teams were going to give him. which I believe still is, we're gonna come to the party. Chiefs maybe, and Orlando Pirates. You see, under a proper competition, not like previously, because the competition was not that strict. It was not that, you see. And then now that Rulani is going, for me, I'm just imagining. I know that it's maybe they're not going to consider him, but I'm imagining 10 tens with those resources, with those players. I feel like maybe we can see something differently. You see, but otherwise, it's one of those things. That can only be my wish. I so wish to see 10 tens managing Sundowns and see if I there's a thing in me that says, you know what, Dan is a good coach. You see, just that maybe he was unfortunate in this team that he was coaching and everything. I'm just imagining him.
Okay.
In Sundowns colors, man. Yeah.
No. For instance, for time's sake, I'm gonna jump in there. Let me bring in Wawa. Wawa, welcome to the show. How are you?
Sorry, man. Hey, network me up. To grand Mr. OT.
Hi, man. Ngimnandi, Wawa. Hey, Wawa, we've got 2 minutes. Ngitshele ukuthi uyibona njani indaba?
Hey, but I think honestly, people in South Africa, they are very emotional. The reason why I'm saying that, we forget the good times of any success here, Coach Ahly in Southern. Starting with Rulani Mokwena. Rulani went on to semi-finals of Champions League, and remember, Mokwena got injured that time. And every coach in South Africa has umuntu athembela kuyena. So when he lost the semi-finals, I think that created, you know, that animosity. Noma imendate abebemnikeze yona ukuthi, you know, he had to win the Champions League, but akayiwinanga. So that had some of the influence why bengafuna ukumnikeza umsebenzi, right? But into engiyibukayo ukuthi uRulani, as South Africans, we don't appreciate him. Pitso said it, that his uyena is success yakhe, and nobody actually thought of uRulani will be actually where he is namhlanje.
Okay.
And abantu be Sundowns, abantu be Pirates, abantu be Kaizer will always have different views, right? Tina, as Pirate supporters, will always say, "Hi, vele kwenzeka kwi Sundowns, even if it's bad, akwenzeke." We don't care about the value of a South African coach doing well here in Africa. I don't think if it was a foreign coach, they were gonna let him go like how they're gonna let go of Rulani. I think it bought the Sundowns it didn't do a justice. They are supposed to leave him to finish his contract aqede, then see if they take we accomplish or no accomplish. And it's not fair. In fact, it's not fair. Rulani is one of the best coaches in Africa as we speak right now. And nobody can argue. Umangoba Mngqithi is going to be given the position, and I'm sure Sundowns is going to regret the decision that they made.
Okay. For time's sake, wow, I'm going to have to jump in. Thank you. Putuam, let me go to Lange. Lange, welcome to the show, my brother, and thank you for the gifts. How are you?
Sengifikile.
So
I'm happy.
Una 2 minutes, but ngitshele then ukuthi uhappy ngani?
Ngihappy ngokuthi bayibulala into abayikhandile. Bazoyisola ekugcineni. So kuzofika lapho khona sebeyisola khona sebekhomba history na njengenye team engiyisho engisupportayo. sebelokhu bekhombisa ukuthi sake sawina kangaki league. Kodwa-ke for uRulani, I wish that ethole i-team azokwazi ukuyikhanda ayisuse phansi, so that akhombise ukuthi this is what I'm capable of, yabo. Because ngathi Sundowns iyakufihla lokho, because ifihla wonke inama-players amaningi kakhulu a-good, yabo. Akubonakali ukuthi uyikhandile, uPitso kuphela okwabonakala ngoba wayekhande isuku sezansi, yabo. But as a Chiefs supporter, i-Chiefs uthole omunye ucoach, ngiyamthemba. I-Sundowns isalelwe i-league eyodwa ezoyithatha. I don't know if it's le season elandelayo noma le season elandelayo bese iyavala, ngeke isaphinde, iyagcina nci, izozisola. Sekuzobuyela kwakudala kube i-Pirates ne-Chiefs. I-Chiefs isiyilungisile izinto zayo, mina ngiyathemba njengoba bekwazi ukumnika ucoach wonke amandla, wonke ama-rights. Iyo lento ibishoda vele ukuthi benike ucoach onke ama-rights, bengalokhu ingakwazi ukuza ne-technical team ekwangakwazi ukuza nokuthi. Ngicabanga ukuthi usenama-powers ucoach, but siyaphambili next season. Le season le engo-August siyakhala, akukho i-Sundowns isazoshaya amanye ama-draw or lose Sundowns, ngiyakutshela.
Hey, Maralagi, why you about it? But it's fine. Like, for time's sake, let me jump in, guys. I'm not going to say too much tonight. I've got my thoughts on YouTube. So, follow, subscribe, and then on the YouTube channel, the Overthinking Football Show, I have 20 minutes of my thoughts. So, you can hear that over there. So, if you have not followed, please follow. Let me speak to Usupa. Super is Fuba. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Kunjani Kehla?
Hayi man, ngimnandi. When last uzifihla happy, my brother?
Mfethu ngisipana ama-overtime, ish.
Oh, as long as uspana, maybe uchekile ngazi, but it's fine. Super, you've got 2 minutes. Tell me what you think about this situation here, Rulani.
Situation Rulani singiphathe kahle.
Okay.
Jose was going to dethrone him. The way it went down is not the way it was supposed to happen. There was a previous comment it would have been great to see Guti, how will Rulani react to serious competition and adversity.
Okay.
I think Sundowns has really taken a serious step back. Especially if Umangoba doesn't succeed Rulani. I'm disappointed as a South African because I don't really see many options for Rulani in the country, especially with the salary it's getting already and all of that. Yeah, as a South African, it's a blow for me.
Yep.
As a Pirate supporter, I would have wanted to win the league against the strongest possible Sundowns. So I think they've weakened themselves and they've just, it's wrong what they've done. It's a serious step back for them. I should be celebrating, but I don't like kicking a dog while it's down. I want it upright. I wanted Pirates to take the league from them straight up, not because they've changed the coach or there's been wholesale changes or something like that. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed.
So then, Super, do you think that this is the situation where Mamelodi Sundowns should just restructure completely? Move away from the Manobas, move away from Pitso's, the way Pitso used to run it, his coaching staff. Do you think that it's time for them to maybe press a reset and do everything over?
That would be career suicide.
Okay.
What Pitso built up was so incredible that the winning streak went on for longer than what we expected. So them demolishing what he has built in terms of the style of play, the continuity, it's siyogcina vele ukubona i-Sundowns winner i-league. They're going to revert to winning cups and not winning the league. I mean, I don't agree with what was done.
Okay.
Sundowns was actually a very good example for all South African teams, especially on the part of continuity. So now just scrapping everything, it's taking 2 steps back, maybe because the main management, maybe thinks too much of themselves and does not give enough credit to what the guys on the ground have done.
Okay. For time's sake, let me bring in Shakes. Shakes, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yes, Puti, ujai putam.
I'm on right, Shakes. Shakes, you've got 2 minutes in jail. We want to. Young is Shakes. Shakes?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa kuthi.
Oh, okay. No, Shakes. Bengithi, you've got 2 minutes. Just tell me, we want to Linda.
Yes. Yeah, like me, personally, I'm divided into. So in which like Mangpega league performance I could keep Rulani, but most performance Rulani was supposed to go. Felt dismal. He felt dismal, and in the middle of the of his season, middle of play.
Some say the chance of
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. You mute it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so into ngibonile mina i-performance yethu ishintshile. Attack it was every time we have the ball, we are very predictable. Our opponents will defend again. And as a result, Sundowns was finding results. Ones that we abantu ade baphakamisa ngoba isikhathi esiningi ama-referees ngoba inayo. So for me, I think Rulani is a very good afana kufunde.
Okay. I think we just had a bit of a echo there.
Yeah,
there's a bit of an issue, man. Maukuluma, angazi what happened. So I'm gonna, for time's sake, I'm just gonna take you off. We'll try again, Shakes, on another day. But because we're getting towards the end of the show, Maleto, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Abdul Chilike.
Oh.
Ay unzon jumper. TikTok yang blocker jeka wena, but hauna taba. It's fine. Ha ke na bua Abdotine. Ke batla ho jwetsa hore no jump jwalo.
I get ke bona le bitso le leng. How?
Jump Abdotine jump.
He banna o se ntabi. O se bore nyeke ke go jump if ne ke tseba he banna. Ay okay o se ntabi.
Ke explainile ka ngola fatshe ka Abdotine user another name because ba mblockile. Hauna taba.
Akabona.
Ke abdikuto hore a ke nna wena ntse sa bone next it's fine.
O se ntabi o batla go ikena tabeng.
Ha ke batla ha ke batla lo ikena ne ke batla ikena ka nako la ba rutine ba yemi mono bo venile bo mano ha ke batla re next bye bye.
Hey, okay. Bye-bye. On that note, okay, guys, look, I'm running out of time. The reason that I wanted to have this conversation is very simple. I think that the conversation that has been happening outside ever since this news came out is a little bit lopsided. I think we look at Rulani and we say he's arrogant and I don't like his personality and I don't like certain things that he does, and we use that as the thing that makes us go, it's okay for him to have lost this job. I don't think he did badly enough for him to have gotten fired. I don't think he got fired personally. I think that there was a lot that was happening behind the scenes between him, the TD, and management. I think there's a lot of fighting that's happening there. One of the issues that I think has come up here is that Coach Rulani is the coach that would say that I've been with Mamelodi Sundowns for more than 10 years. I know there was that time where he left, but I've been with Mamelodi Sundowns for more than 10 years. You guys backed me in my fight with Mangoba when Mangoba was demoted and I was promoted. So now I think he moved with a little bit of importance backstage. I think he moved with the confidence thinking that he's backed the way that he's meant to be backed. I think there was a fight that happened between the parties and the club had to choose. And the club chose the TV director, the technical director over Rulani. Why I mentioned a technical director, for example, is to say, guys, we're all looking at Rulani and we're all saying that Rulani was the issue. Fine, whether that's right or wrong, put it on the side. But do we look at management? Do we look at the TDs? Do we look at those type of people who are in the back who we've never heard of? I don't know what Fleming's attitude is like. I don't know what Fleming says. I don't know what his mandate is. There's a lot of things we don't know about these people that clearly, I see in the comments, we say that we are trusting. What I think is that Mamelodi Sundowns, as I said a while ago, is coming to a crossroads. It's either you continue doing the things the way Mamelodi Sundowns has been doing things. So it's in-house, people are groomed, you know who's coming after who. So when Pitso left, you knew that Mangoba was going to jump in. When Mangoba left, you knew that, or Mangoba got demoted, you knew that Rulani was going to jump in, right? So do they continue with that pattern, or do they now move into a modern way where I've hired a technical director, everybody that I'm bringing in are going to be, the people I bring in are going to be, what do you call it, contractors. They're going to come in, if they don't do the Spani, I move them out. I think it's very hard to move out Abu Mangoba, it's very hard to move out Abu Rulani, for example, because they've been with the club for so long. But the question I was asking a long time ago was, is that not what you need to do in order to go and compete with the northern teams? If you want to compete with Ahly is a business all the way through. Ahly is, if you don't do what you need to do, you go. When a coach, when a technical director, when a what, they tell you, this is what you need to do. If you don't do it, you know, I know, everybody knows the moment you sign that contract, what is expected of you. Would Sundowns need to do something like that? And that is where I think this crossroads came. Because I believe agents in the group put it as there's two bulls. You can't have two bulls in a crowd. So you can't have a technical director who's got power and control and a mandate. His mandate is probably to modernize the club, look for opportunities to cut the wage bill, make sure they're efficient, make sure that they're moving into the future, all of that type of stuff. But then you also have Rulani, who his mentor is Pitso. He comes from a place where I need to have control. I need to make my choices. I need to live and die by my choices. And the club had to choose. And maybe the club chose the technical director because at the end of the day, if the club is moving in a certain way, you don't stand the risk of your coach going in another direction. I think Rulani overestimated the power that he has in the club. And for me, it probably came down to a fight where lines were drawn and management had to choose. So what's going to be interesting is going to be what happens with Mamelodi Sundowns going forward, right? How do they move going forward? Will they delete the structure and go with this modern structure? Because it's not just about Mamelodi Sundowns, the team or the coaches or the technical director. Remember, Topi is also a chairman in his own right. Topi might want to also differentiate himself from what his father has done, Chairman Topi, right? You're seeing now Mamelodi Sundowns is even changing. They've got sponsors, they've got funeral plans, they've got all these different things that the club didn't necessarily care about in the building phase of what Sundowns is now, or the recent success that Sundowns has had. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And another thing that I want us to also know, another thing that I want us to also understand, technical directors are very important. In world football, a technical director is super important in making decisions. The only problem is that technical director in South Africa is another completely different beast, because those guys run clubs, fire coaches, tell people to put people, certain players on the pitch. I saw people are saying that Umbazola is saying Fleming had a hand in the starting lineup and the lineup and team selection of the Champions League towards the end. So if it's going in that direction, it's looking a lot like the technical directors that we have right now in football, who sit up there, talk to the chairman and make decisions on the ground and scapegoat coaches. So you have to also look out for that in this whole dynamic, that maybe Fleming shouldn't get so powerful that he becomes one of those. So I'm not saying it's true or false. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't know. I'm just saying that you have to be wary, because there's another team that was drunk on success. Maybe not the success that Sundowns had, but they were drunk on success. And hey, shawarma funeral plan, shawarma chips, management became big-headed. All of that happened, and we see what happened to them. You don't want to stumble and fall into that type of trap. Will they, won't they? I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen. If you have not followed, please follow. The normal show is on Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. You'll find us here speaking about topics such as this, and you'll be able to jump on if time willing, right? If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they're on YouTube in full. I also have my own thoughts. So this is just a glimpse of my thoughts. I have a long video where I break down everything that I think about this situation from the different sides and all of that type of things and implications of all of the stuff. So check that out on YouTube. Support the content, guys. If you want to be part of our WhatsApp group where it actually goes down, a lot of the people that you heard talking here in the group, there's a lot of things that we discuss in there. It's a wonderful place for football. So if you want to join that, if you're on TikTok, link in my profile, there's a button that says WhatsApp group. On YouTube, just click on join, and you'll get a link that will take you to the WhatsApp group, and you can jump inside and we can have conversations. Guys, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can send a message and somebody will reply. That is how hectic and amazing that group is in terms of speaking football. Guys, thank you so much to Vuga Maulele, Lange, T-Man, Tabi, Lulu, the boss lady, Kolani Butelezi. Thank you so much for the gifts on that side. Thank you to everybody that commented, watched, that jumped onto the panels. Thank you to those watching on YouTube as well. I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 7. I'll tell you when we have watch-alongs because we've got a bit of a break here from the Euros. We'll be back on the weekend. So we're probably going to have another show. And tomorrow, I want to speak about these videos that are floating around. We're going to have a conversation about Pirates and the change room videos and everything about that. Are they good? Are they bad? Etc. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.